don't get that twisted. It's great that we have this voting initiative, but voting is only half the battle.
Right.
You can vote till the cows come home, but if you don't change this corrupt system, all you're doing is plugging and playing.
Right.
I said it again, all you're doing is plugging and playing. For example, no matter who was in office, it would not have changed the fact that a grand jury heard the evidence.
That's
down
right.
in Valdosta and still decided to return a no bill with it.
That's right.
My young fellow that got up here and said that this should be KJ's face on the back of this newsletter. I know what he meant, but I would like to disagree with you without being disagreeable. What was the term he said? This is Ariston Waiters. I represent this family as well. I would beg to differ that it needs to be KJ. You need to have about 20 other pictures on the back of this program or newspaper. Ariston Waiters, grand jury reform. Right now there's legislation right before this state that would allow, well, first of all, I want to make sure that you guys understand that in this state, officers are allowed to sit through the entire grand jury process. They're allowed to hear all the evidence against them. They're not allowed to be cross-examined. They're allowed to get on the stand and boo-hoo about why they had to kill your child.
20 days.
Well, this happened with Ariston Waiters. So now this new piece of legislation prevents them from sitting in there all day, but it gives them a 20-day heads up.
That's right.
Before the grand jury proceeds. There's a lot of loopholes in this, so people they're cheering for this piece of legislation because they can't sit in the grand jury during the whole hearing, but they still get a 20-day heads up. If you really want grand jury reform here in Georgia, mimic the state of California.
That's
and when
right.
there's a serious injury or if there's a death caused by law enforcement that is suspicious,
Always.
it goes straight to jury trial.
Straight to trial.
So I just wanted to make sure we're straight because I do represent the family of Ariston Waiters as well. But like I said, voting is half the battle here. Even if you don't vote, because I'm not a big fan and you just have to vote. Because right now there's not a presidential candidate that I choose to give my vote to.
Right.
But you can push back legislation. I'll give a quick example, and then I've got two more, and we'll be done. I'm from College Park, down south side. There was a crazy piece of legislation, Representative Scott, pushed by one of your colleagues, State Senator Donzella James, wanting to dedicate Old National Highway to Reverend Pastor Creflo Dollar. For y'all that don't know, that legislation has been defeated, and I raise my hand high about leading the charge on that one. See, while you're working with families whose son went to school with a book bag and was returned in a body bag, when you're working with families like that and then crazy pieces of legislation come in your back door, you got to fight on multiple fronts is where I'm going with that.
Absolutely.
Let me make sure that I run this down about Kendrick. Kendrick went to school January 10th.